No, they're 27th and 28th of December, 2 years apart. 15 and 17.
That reminds me of some ride I was at. I think it was,
Oh, I know.
I think we were on a high school band trip. We went to Owensville running.
Uh-huh.
We had some kind of a ride like that, but there was this
How's the finger?
black girl that was, I think she was screaming. But they had so much fun rubbing your screen that they went through to get.
Had one of those movie things,
I go like next Wednesday.
that you sit in the seat just like being in a row, on a ride,
Kind of like Chevy shows, we get some frying on.
I guess. Oh my God, it was,
You don't remember the Chevy show?
I haven't been to Six Flags.
I haven't been to Six Flags in 30 years. That was like in the 80s, 70s, or 80s.
But yeah, probably.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Okay, I sent out a form asking anybody if they had any questions specifically that they wanted to talk about during this, so I'm gonna focus on those answers to those questions. If there's anything else at the end that you wanna talk about, we can. So, I'm gonna jump in. One of the questions was how to delete an assignment in SIS or in the gradebook. So if you go into the gradebook, and you go to the assignments tab, and I have all these, all this information in a folder that I'll share out after this class. So if you have an assignment that you want to delete out of your gradebook, you go to the assignments tab and find your assignment, and then over on the right hand side under the actions column there are 3 dots. If you need to edit the assignment, you can. If you would like to delete it, this is where you would click delete. And I am just in train, so I'm not really deleting assignments, Tyler. I'm not really deleting anything.
Oh, okay.
I'm in train.
Wow.
So you would just confirm that you want to delete. Or if you want to edit an assignment, you would click on edit and it would take you to the assignment properties where you could change any details, the due date, the points possible, and so forth. Did that answer the delete an assignment question? I don't know.
Can you show them the other way too, Nicole? Like just going
The scores.
on the scores tab? Because it might be easier here if you guys go this way, just scores, and then click on that assignment.
Right.
And then the third one down is
Delete.
delete right there. They both are super helpful though, because I've used both of them.
Does anybody have any questions about deleting an assignment? The next thing I'm going to talk about is the preferences. I've had some questions about that, different ways to view things in your gradebooks. I'm just going to quickly go through these. You can sync the preferences, so you only have to do it once, or if you want different gradebooks to look differently, you would uncheck that. Adding an assignment, you can do a quick view. Your headings, you can have different headings show up. There's your categories. You can have the date assigned, the due date, all that. That would show up in your like your headings of your columns. Different ways you can sort. Down on the scores, when you are filling out your grades and you leave a column or a cell blank, this is where you can change the special mark. So if you leave it blank and you wanted to automatically give it a special mark of missing, that's where you would change that. If you want it to be exempt, that is where you would go to change that, where it automatically changes when you leave the score blank. I don't know who had that question. There was somebody that had that question. Does that answer your question? I don't know who that was.
We've talked about that a lot at the high school level.
I'm sorry, what?
About marking things as missing at the high school level, because more people need to do it, is what needs to happen.
Nicole, when you import from like Classroom, it doesn't use that, does it? Like if there's no grade on a kid, it just leaves it blank.
I'm not sure on that.
Okay.
I don't, see, I don't see the teacher side of it when they import from Google.
Okay,
So, because I can't really import, because I would have to know your.
That's correct.
right.
Then you gotta click separately on.
So then I'd have to
fill
go
blank-
through
Fill
and-
blank scores.
Okay.
You don't go through, it's just the top of the assignment, click it and click fill blank scores.
Yeah, fill the blanks.
Okay.
Right here,
Awesome.
right there, fill blank scores, it'll put missing in all of them.
So we can fill it in.
Missing 0.
Yeah, and it's so much faster.
Are you talking about when using the fill blank scores
Yeah.
on that? I can't always.
Okay, that makes sense.
You see that?
Yeah, I got it here.
And so if you wanna,
On the
if you have a new student and you wanna exempt everybody, you change your missing, or your missing to exempt, and then fill in the blank scores, everybody else goes to exempt, and then you can change the score of the new student coming in. And then change it to missing assignments. And it makes it so much faster.
Using that, doing that?
Yes, if I have a new student come in, I can put exempt, because I've got 30 students, and I don't wanna go through and do each one of them. It takes too long.
So that, is everybody okay with, that's where you go to change a blank, scores field or cell? Sorry, it's been a while since I've had to talk. You can have different columns in the grid, in the scores grid, if you want to show if they have an IEP, if you want to apply a special grade scale, their grade level. If you want different columns to show up in your grade book, you would just highlight the one you want and then scroll, I'm sorry, I can't see. Drag it over to the middle column. And if you want to move it back over and you don't want to see it, you would just drag it back over to the available columns. Report card grades. As of right now, this person doesn't have progress cycles showing up in the report card grades columns. If you would like to see that, you can check mark it. You just want to see terms and semesters, you can leave it like that. It's your preference on how you want that, view. Students, you can sort them differently if you want to by name, add date, if they're withdrawn, if you want to show your withdrawn students, you can sort by that. You can show draft withdrawn students, or if you don't want to show them, you would uncheck it. So anytime you make any changes to this screen, you would click save, and it would take you back to your grade book.
There's no way to switch the alphabetical order of your kids, like by first name, is there?
I don't believe so.
Okay, and that's perfectly fine. I just know, I believe Google Classroom does it that way, where
Yeah,
it's,
but doesn't let you sort by.
okay, that's perfect,
It's just
that's
last
okay.
name.
Nicole, while you're on the other screen, like where it shows all their grades,
Uh-huh.
so I call kids up to my desk a lot to like conference with them about like what assignments are missing and whatnot. Is there any way to search like, where it's just showing just theirs and not everybody's?
Click on their name.
You just click on their name,
It's
Oh.
all the way at
Shows
the
the
bottom.
student only.
huh? Show only the student.
That is really helpful.
Yep.
I learned that at the parent teacher conferences. The header was.
It's also a good way to just put grades on for that kid if they're gone for a while and come back and have a bunch of grades. That's good. You get it. When you put exhibit.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You can sort by first name. In general preferences, down towards the bottom, it says student names.
You go by first?
Where at?
Under general preferences,
Oh, okay.
Sweet, awesome, thank you. The more we did, the more we found.
There you go. There you go. Perfect. Awesome. See, I wouldn't. question about, copying. Assignments to another grade book. So if you want to copy your assignments, you click on tools, am I right on this? Because I had to look around. Copy assignments. And it brings up just a guide. You select the class that you want to copy from. Select the assignments. And then what classes you want to copy them to. And then click finish. Everybody okay on copying assignments?
Wait, I blacked out. Can you show me that one more time? This is one of my questions. I was like watching everything, but I wasn't thinking about what I was watching.
So, if you're in your grade book,
Okay, you go to assignments.
go to the assignments tab, click on tools at the bottom,
Okay.
copy assignments. So I'm in this grade book,
Okay.
Digital Essentials Period 1.
Okay.
Click next,
Click on.
select the assignments you want to copy. Click next, select the classes that you want to paste to,
Okay.
and then click finish.
Can I show you something else?
Sure,
If you click on, go back to scores
okay.
and add new assignment, so down at the bottom, when you actually add a new assignment, over on the far
yeah.
left.
Yeah, I just knock it out.
Now go where it says, I can't read that,
All field.
It's-
all fields, yeah.
all fields, yeah.
Okay.
Over on the top right,
Oh, and then you can copy from here.
Oh, that's
You
close.
can create
So every
and
time they
copy
get
all at
assigned.
one
all at
time.
one time.
Yeah, it's in the
That's good to know.
That is good enough. It's like 4 classes that are the same. I just been going and making them all individually.
Oh,
all
gosh,
year
no.
long.
What's wrong with you?
So that way it copies it when you create it.
Awesome, thank you. That's helpful.
Mhm.
Okay.
We're having trouble finding, like, we want to enter exempt in for a grade,
Uh-huh.
like,
X and PT.
well, usually if I hit an X, it pulls up the option, like a drop-down box, but when he hits it, it doesn't come up.
And I
Okay,
type
so
in-
he may not have that selected in this grade book, so if you go to Tools, Edit Special Marks,
There it is.
you have a choice of which special marks you want to use in your grade books.
Okay.
I said missing.
And then, so say somebody, if you want 90% for late assignments, but somebody else wants 80 or 70 or whatever, you can edit that. If you click on late, you can change the percentages.
Wow, okay.
That help?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So like for high school's sake, late assignment says operation exempt. I don't know that we want to use that because then it doesn't hurt their grade if you mark it as a late assignment on the special mark. Right, Tammy?
Yes,
That's why
exactly.
we don't want to mark them late.
You could put late 1 or late 2 if you want to take a percentage off, but I wouldn't.
But if you want it to be like late and, right, yeah, I see. what you're
Otherwise-
So
saying.
if you use that, do you have to type late 1, late 2, and then use?
No,
the
when you
number?
if you type L, it'll give you a drop-down box of which ones to pick from. You just have
As long
to.
as you haven't selected it.
Right,
Yeah,
well,
if
you
you
pick
haven't
them
picked
in this,
them in this-
screen.
Yeah.
So like Tyler, you don't have late 1 and late 2
Yeah.
check mark.
Yeah, I've never used those,
I don't use them very often
but if somebody turns something in late,
either. If that's what your classroom
like a
is.
So for
Right.
So for my final, these people that exempted it, it just leaves it blank.
Mhm.
And then like so for this one right here,
Mine all reset on me.
assignments that you get points for.
My formula's
Yeah, so
reset.
but
I realized at the beginning of
Is that
December,
just fine?
like on the last progress, that my
That's right. That's what it
They all reset
Yeah,
back
that box is
to
saying that's not what it was when we sent them.
100% of all grades. I used to have a 60-40
Yeah.
for homework and tests, and, or tests and homework, and they had reset. Yeah, well,
Thursday?
they were all the formulas were in, and they reset. I don't know if they did some kind of a update or something that reset them.
The only one that we changed, well, we didn't change it, I just opened up was the semester one was the only one that was opened up to be able to change that formula for the exam.
Well, then, when I put it back in December, the beginning of December, some of the students went up and some of them went down quite a bit. So I had either really happy students or really pissed off students,
Yeah.
because some of them went down.
I don't know why that was. Because those haven't been, like formulas haven't been.
And it reset them all.
Reset.
I think the final started exam one, and then I put in the contract.
Special marking.
Well, once I set them, I don't usually go back and check.
You have
But
special work from sleep.
I was adding homework assignments, classwork assignments, and they were way too high. They were affecting way too much, so I knew something
So
was off.
opposite exam?
So I went and checked my,
No, there should be an INC.
my formulas, and they were wrong, they were reset. And yeah, when I
I'm
went to
going
reset
to,
them.
does anybody have any questions so far? About anything I've talked about? Because, where's my elementary? Do I have a lot of elementary? Okay. Did you?
Hey, Nicole?
Yeah.
Is there a way, like, so I had a student who didn't take a final, so I want to put it as incomplete, but I don't want to give them a 0, right?
Okay.
Well, it's a 0 until they take it, yeah.
It is? Even on their semester grades too, like it'll.
Yeah, until they take it, that's
So what are you doing?
Oh, okay.
Are you talking about
Standard.
Zach, are you talking about importing?
Yeah.
Like, then you put an I for
Yeah.
incomplete.
But it gives them.
It gives them a 0.
It should give them a 0, yeah, but whenever you import, you're gonna put an I for the final and then an I for their semester grade, right?
So is there like a grace period when they come back, or they take it the first couple days of school, or is it like it's done?
Lori should have to tell us, she should give us that end date of this,
That's his term.
you have to have your incomplete result by this date or something, because then she will reopen importing
I know.
for all those ones that have markers.
Semester 2 or term 3.
Which is gonna be a lot of us since we didn't have the final make us, everybody's gonna be tons of information.
One quick thing I want to talk to you about is when you go into when we start school on Wednesday and you can't take attendance, make sure that you're not still just viewing classes for semester 1. Either click on today or semester 2, or that way your second semester classes show up. And now you'll see there's attendance buttons for all hours instead of
What is that?
so a lot of times you'll show classes just for semester 1 since that's what we were in. Well, come on Wednesday when you can't take attendance, when you say your attendance icon isn't showing up, it's probably because you're still viewing semester 1 classes. So you need to either change it to today, which it's already set for January 5th, or you can change it to semester 2. Then all of your attendance icons will show up. I'm gonna jump to the elementary level for just a second.
Oh, the old one. So this one, I went to assignment. You need to change it to a percentage. Select.
So I just put I just do an eye right here for him.
Okay, so for the elementary level, when you're importing your standards, to make sure that your standards are importing correctly, you want to click on the report card grades red box. And it should bring up
And then this is
a box that asks you if you want to import your standards to the report cards tab. When you click yes,
40%.
you should then see numbers that align to those standards. Do you see where I am? As long as there's numbers there on that report card grades tab,
Yeah.
they will show up on the grade card. So then when you click finalize,
They're doing hybrid.
well,
At first, it's the high school, that's good. So why would we teach them middle school?
okay.
Because
So now you have term 2, you have grades in those columns. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, I mean, I hit the yes, and sometimes nothing appears, but it only happens at progress time, not.
You have to make sure at the bottom, you have check mark show progress cycle.
Okay, and I did that whenever you showed that earlier, so that's probably.
Yeah.
Because it always works for the end of the quarter, it just never works at
Yeah.
progress time. So.
You just have to make sure you show progress cycles to see that
And
column.
I have that check mark now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Does elementary have any more questions while I'm in here? About the grade?
I can go and copy these.
my mom lost her mind. She would
Copy formula,
I said, charge, I'll charge,
all
mom.
sections.
Dude, the pissed, dude. The dude was like 2 for 16.
I should.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions about the grade book? Something else I wanted to talk about was using the data query. So on the left-hand side of your screen, you'll see data query. You click on that and go to fields. I'm just going to put in go to name, show first and last name. And I'm going to show you some different ways to find students. So you can use filters. Wait, I want to add. I have to remember this. Hold on. Where is it? Hold on. Go back into my drive.
I had an idea of how much code scored, and I think he scored like 9 or 10. Yeah, you two were you. And I was doing the math, and I was like, how do you only score 70?
Okay. So, I know I have quite a few coaches, but you want to pull up your, oh, that got some heads turning. If you want to pull up your team, if you click on the data query and you want to pull up your fields that you want to pull a grid on, whether it be phone number, I'm just going to do first and last name for now. Under programs and services, you would find your sport. And I'll just do football. And then you want to use active this year. And you want to pull it over to use as a filter column.
Okay, can you run through that again? Last part. Under programs and services.
Yes. So here's all the different programs and services we have. So we have our extracurricular activities. Like here, CX is cross country. We have baseball, BS is baseball. BK is basketball. BKBB is boys basketball. BKBG is girls basketball. Wrestling, it starts with a W. They got your SFA, which I don't know. There's golf,
I was trying to explain it.
softball.
Was that?
Here's your track boys, track girls, volleyball, and there's wrestling. So you want to have it active this year. So that's the field you want to use. Is so you would find your sport and then active this year. And then you would go to your filters. And now here's your filter that you're going to sort by. Your operator is not blank. And then you would click on the results tab. And if I did it correctly, it should show the name of each football player. And then like I said, you can pull different fields too. And then you can sort by name and any other fields that you add in there.
So, the counselors last year did this for me. They were able to pull like missing assignments like that all the wrestlers have. Do I have the ability to do that, or is that a counselor only thing? Because it's in the same field as what you're doing right there. I just didn't know if.
Let me find out. Okay. If I find a piece of paper, I'll write that as a note. Or can you email me? That'd be great.
Yep.
Okay. So like I said, so if anything you want to sort on and you want to use as a filter, you would just move that over to the far right column to use as your filter, and then it would show up on your filters tab.
What was that about the operator?
So the operator is just like your equal to, greater than, less than, your.
Equal, oh, okay.
So since active in this year, I wanted it not to be blank. So as long as there was something in that field, it would pull it.
Okay, apply to all groups, whatever. Group A, actions, visit payers, what is it?
But I'm sure that's like.
Oh, that's just, so you're not, so you post the results.
I know he got something about.
So it just pulled all your kids that were dual credit.
That's what I'm saying. It's like,
It just, it's not gonna pull what information is in there, it's just, that's kind of your sort column.
yeah, it's just.
Invalid grade.
He was kind of trying to decide.
And then just a refresher, to do a behavior referral, on the left-hand side, you click behavior referral. Add a new referral. You'll pull up the kid's name. You can timestamp it, or you can change it to a specific time and day. The location is required, and a reason and description. Then you can submit it.
So you hit submit, not save.
Yes, submit.
So what happens when you hit save?
7 years in the police.
Hold on.
I have one, I probably should have pulled out. Campus son.
I had a bunch of other winners.
It says, it doesn't actually, it's just in process,
Someone
so
will see it?
I don't believe, it won't go to admin, so you have to submit it. So if
Okay.
you just hit save, you can go to submit to admin,
Okay,
then it sends it.
gotcha. All right.
There's a lot, well, I wrote him up because of what this is yours.
This is yours.
So I just wrote where this is.
That is a long way.
They're in text. They are.
Anybody have questions or you just wanna work?
I did Tanner twice, so Tanner was
Because she doesn't know Donna's notification. It says
He had
0.
somebody here in TikTok, and he was trying to catch it in his mouth, and he threw chipped his tooth, and he ran to the bathroom. So I did it as an incident report in case his parents called and said, hey, my kid had to go to the dentist because he chipped a tooth.
Anybody have any more questions? Things they wanna find out?
So I just documented the incident here. I just literally documented. That was like one of the first weeks of school. Let's see, when was that? 9/1, so it was like 2 weeks in the school year. Didn't know the kid really. I just knew this was a problem.